Hello students, welcome to this introduction to MATLAB course. So today's session will cover what is MATLAB and what is actually the difference found in MATLAB with other environment, and what all the environment actually differ from the older versions, and why use MATLAB, and few history about MATLABs, and then basic MATLAB systems. So what you are looking behind is the white screen is the MATLAB platform. So where we can, the double arrow is represented as command prompt in the MATLAB. So this is the home page. So this particular command prompt used as a calculator, and you can see your result immediately here, whereas in Turbo C you cannot see the results immediately. You have to perform one more operation to find out or view your results. So this is the simple difference between or advantage between Turbo C and then MATLAB. Actually this MATLAB is developed by Fortran initially, and then it is developed with the help of C languages. Okay, so anyhow C is the base of all programming languages. So let's move to the introduction about MATLAB. The name MATLAB stands for Matrix Laboratory or Mathematical Laboratory. MATLAB is an interactive system whose basic data element is an array that does not require dimensioning. It is both a computer programming language and a software environment for using the language effectively. Right. So what is actually MATLAB? So what is the full form of MATLAB? The MATLAB full form is Matrix Laboratory or Mathematical Laboratory. MATLAB is a commercial matrix laboratory package which operate as an interactive programming environment. So what you are seeing behind me is the environment I am going to explain you. So MATLAB is available for PCs, Macintosh systems and Unix systems. MATLAB is well adapted to numerical experiments. That is the main advantage of MATLAB. MATLAB program and script files, M files, you can say, always have file name ending with .m. The programming language is exceptionally straightforward, since almost all data object is assumed to be an array. It is very straightforward and as well as case sensitive. Capital A is totally different from small a in MATLAB. So we will see later how to perform this, how to differentiate this, right? Okay, so I am going to end with the introduction with the typical usages of MATLAB: math and computation, algorithm development, modeling, simulation, prototyping, data analysis, exploration and visualization. So this visualization is the primary advantage of MATLAB. So where in Turbo C you cannot visualize much things. Graphical usage is very low in Turbo C. Scientific and engineering graphics are enormous here, and application development using GUI is also the major part of usage, right? So we can say some advantages of MATLAB: handles vector and matrices very nicely, quick plotting and analysis, we can quickly see the plots and then result immediately, extensive documentation, and lots of nice functions like FFT, fuzzy logic, and then neural networks, numerical integration, and OpenGL. The only one drawback we can say about MATLAB is slow compared to C or Java. Obviously it is very slow. It occupies more space, like 8 GB in your system. That is not a problem when you are interested to do in mathematical operations. So don't worry about that. So we'll focus the environment first. So the white screen displayed here is the command prompt, where you can use this environment as a calculator. So see, if I type 2 plus 3 here, so it will display 5 immediately, right? So the capital A is equivalent to 10 is totally different from small a equivalent to 10, right? So we can write it in some other way. So 20, right? So capital A is 10, small a is 20. Suppose if you are performing C equivalent to capital A plus 5, so you can see the difference, and then D is equivalent to small a plus 5, right? So you can see D reflects the value of 25 because A is 20, whereas C reflects the value of 15 because capital A is 10, right? So case sensitive, please make it down. It is MATLAB is a case sensitive one. Okay, so as I said, we can use this environment, or we can use this white screen as a, it is called as a command prompt or command history, we can, right? Okay, so we'll take one example and then we'll see how this function is. Okay, so one convolution is available here, convolution program. So it will automatically bring you to the editor window. See, this is the editor window. So in top corner left side, it says that it is editor window with the name Kaushik underscore convolution.m. So very important point here is, so when you work with the MATLAB, there are default or inbuilt functions are available. You should not make or save your program, your own program, with the name of inbuilt functions. So you should make a difference between inbuilt and your own program. Like I usually recommend my students to differentiate, like his name is Kaushik, the underscore, the name of the experiment is convolution, so he actually reduced this into 4 letters, con.m. So you no need to give .m, it automatically gives .m, right? So this is the program. So this program is a straightforward program. It's a very nice method to start your initial programs, like you just put CLC, clear all and close all. So the name of CLC, the function of CLC is it will clear your command window. So where is your command window? Here, this is your command window. It will clear all the values. Okay, so and then clear all, it will clear all your data stored in the command history, right, or workspace. So it will clear all the values. So far we have performed capital A value, small a value, and the answer is reflected C and D values. So all are stored in the workspace. So this clear all will clear your workspace values. Okay, so close all, it will close your additional windows like figure windows. Okay, so this is our exact program. So these are the labeling and then title. Okay, so here I am representing this capital N and then small n. So to differentiate capital N, small n, so I have mentioned this capital N and the small n directly. So this semicolon actually gives you the idea about echoing your output. So if you not putting this semicolon in the program, it will echo into your command window. So let's see what happens if I take this command semicolon, right? So you just save. So here you have to write your program. So this is the one example program, and save it. It automatically saved as a .m. You just name it, as I said, Kaushik underscore convolution. just make it. So there are several ways to run this program. The one important or straightforward method is run button is available in the editor window itself. So you just go and click this run window. So it will bring you to the command window where we have started our discussion. So it is asking number of samples. So if I give 10, right, so this is the result immediately coming to your screen, unit step response, right? Okay, so how the function is actually performed here. So here I have performed CLC, clear all, close all, everything, and then you just put semicolon here. You can see the reflection n equal to 10 is reflected or echoed in the command window. So here the n, small n, is vary from what you have given here is plus 10 here. So it is started from, so it is minus, so it is started from minus 10 to plus 10 with the space of 1. So which means minus 10, minus 9, minus 8, okay, in that way. So if you want to see that particular one, small n, you just put here. See, minus 10, minus 9, minus 8, minus 7, minus 6. So everything is represented here. So now you can understand the usage of a semicolon here. So if I remove all the semicolons, you will get confused in the command window. So even you will see the same. Okay. If I remove all the semicolons, right? So I am going to give 20 here. Just see the difference between the previous window and then now. Okay, it is filled with the values, full of values. N value, it represents columns 1 through 27 and 28 to 41. Okay, so in that way. So the ideal way or very safest way is put semicolon. So this is the initial ideas you have to remember, right? So n varies from minus 10 to plus 10 with the one space, and here small x equal to zeros of 1 comma capital N. Capital N represents 20 or 10 you have given previously, space 1, space ones of 1 comma 10 or 20. Okay, so zeros will give you a number of zeros. Zeros of 1 comma n means 0, 1 comma mean 1 comma capital N means first is row and capital N is column. Okay, it represents column. Okay, which means 1 comma 10 or 20 based on your value given here. Okay, 1 comma 10 values. Okay, 1 row 10 columns, zeros of 1 row and 10 columns, space 1 once. The same way how the 0 is functioning, it's the same way it creates 1 with 1 comma 10. Okay, 1 row and 10 columns. So finally it will plot n comma x. It is always representing by 2D x and y. So it is x and then it is y. Okay, n is represented in the x axis, then x is represented in the y axis. So if you are confusing, you just change the values. Okay, this is x and this is y. Okay, so this is convenient for me to explain. That is why I put it n comma x here. Okay, and the next is x label and then y label and then title. So once again I am running with the 10. Okay, just see time and then amplitude and then unit step response. Okay, x label is time, x label is time, y label is amplitude, and then title is a unit step response. So without this single column, single quotes, so it won't work. Okay, it won't work. Even double column is also not working here. Okay, so thank you very much for your attending this particular course. So we'll meet with another example in next video. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.